Hi!
How you doing right now?
I'm doing so well. How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for, hold on, can I hit record? Is that all right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, 1 second. Let me just get my...
I was trying to make sure that I find some place where it's like quiet and not so much like the gym stuff going on. But they have a Petco they have a baseball game that's going to be going on at Petco Park right here.
Oh,
So
cool.
like just to show you,
Yeah.
the gym I go to has like a full,
Wow.
so you can see all the baseball games and everything else that's happening right here. And they're
Wow.
about to they're about to start up. Everybody's warming up. So
That's gorgeous. No, that's awesome. Wow, what a cool environment. It must be like,
right.
yeah, it must give you good energy, no?
Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, it changes the frequency of where you
Yeah.
train, the people that you're around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
For sure. Let me just double check, make sure my camera's on 1 second. I just want to make sure. I don't want to like do a great interview and then, oh no, I didn't record. 1 second.
No problem.
Okay. All right. Ish. All right. No, yeah, very much appreciate you making the time. I was just so excited. I'm like, oh, so I think for me, it's really, really cool. Like I'm just fascinated by people. Like I love people. I do really like
Hmm.
people. And I like bringing people together. I think that's sort of why I kind of started, you know, this like sort of podcast. I think I want to turn it into a media company one day. Um, but I think, yeah, just to get a chance to speak with you and someone in like a completely different sport that's so unique.
Uh-huh.
It's so sick. Like it's just, I was watching some of the highlights and like some of your interviews and stuff like that, and I'm
Yes.
like that's how I feel. Like it just like jaw just drops. It's like, oh my God. Because I play a contact, like I play rugby and that's a
Uh-huh.
sport, but you just
Yes.
it completely different. So before I get into the questions and stuff, like just a bit of background, like I was like chat GPTing about you and just wanted a little bit of like background and like, Wikipedia, all that. But like just from you yourself, so quickly, like how did you get into it and stuff?
So I was originally introduced to the sport back in 2019, 2020-ish when they were just making the transition from having it be international,
Right.
and Dana White was actually getting his hands into it and wanted to create a company or a sport called Power Slap. And my friend, his uncle is Azael Rodriguez. He competed on the very first season one road to the title. And it wasn't until I saw my friend on TV holding up the Mexican flag behind his uncle, and he asked me, he said, "Hey, when you get that moment, can you snap a picture of me?" And I did. And it clicked in my head. I said, "Wow, this guy's on TV. There's a new sport. Something's really like it's happening. Things are happening with this. It's just like the UFC when it first originally started. You had the part where it was a spectacle in the very beginning, even though it included a lot of multiple disciplines, and then it started to take its turn and turn into something that was more like for the athlete. Hey, you got to train this way, you got to do this way. So getting into such a new sport in the very beginning, I see that as an opportunity. Then my younger brother, which is like a year or 2 years younger than me, he is already in that world of MMA. He's competed in Bellator, LFA, Cage Warriors, and multiple different events, and he wants to make the transition. We're originally from Hawaii, and he's making the transition from Hawaii to move to Arizona. Lives there for quite some time. Transitions and wants to come to San Diego because in San Diego we're kind of like the mecca of the MMA world. We have a lot of local MMA fighters that have made it to the UFC here in San Diego, and he makes the transition. Once he comes over, he spends a little bit of time training, preparing, decides to go back to Arizona for about 6 months, almost a year. And then he calls me again. He says, "Hey, I want to come back to San Diego. Want to make another run at this. I've fixed all the things that I need for my mental state, for just my mindset has changed. Let's try this one more time." And so he comes out here, and immediately when he gets out here, I was like, okay, we're gonna get him some fights. He's gonna end up going and doing his thing. He's gonna go right back into doing MMA or doing something in anywhere in the combat sport world. And he jumps into bare knuckle. He does a bare knuckle contract for 3 fights. He goes out there and is able to perform. The best way you can, right? Getting a nice early knockout of the opponent. and he jumps into MMA really fast. He says, "Okay, wow, I did really good there. Let me go back into the MMA world." Well, the person that he goes up against the next time around is very good at wrestling, and he's a pressure fighter. So ground is his main forte. My brother is a striker. He
Mm.
goes out there, he has jiu-jitsu moves on him. He puts him in a rear naked choke. The fight ends pretty early within the first 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's where me and my brother have a real deep conversation about what we think is the future. And we decide to jump into a one-dimensional sport. No more bare knuckle boxing. No, and he was doing amateur boxing back then, but then he just stopped that all the way and complete. And then he said, "Hey, look, I've been hearing these things about power slap." And I was like, me too. He's like, I have a friend. His uncle is in the sport already. Like he's done the season. He's on a live event. So we watched it a little bit back and forth. And I said, "Do you think this is the thing that we could do?" And he's like, uh, let's hold off for a little while. Well, me just being the person I am, I'm very gung ho about everything I do. So I go ahead and I submit an application for myself. I submit an application for him. And within 3 days, the matchmaker, her name is Erica, she contacts us and says, "Hey, I see, just from my brother's side, I see that you're very decorated. There's a great opportunity for you to jump into this sport very early. We want to, put you on an actual live event already. You don't have to do a season. You don't have to go and live in a house with all these people. And we want to see what you can do." So they offer us Power Slap 7. My brother goes out there and he does really well. But I go out there as his coach slash manager slash brother
Yeah, yeah.
and show up to where they have like it's considered the media day. It's the very first time I've ever like experienced that before ever in my life. I mean, I've been in multiple different jobs that require me to obviously speak properly on camera or do anything like that and that sort. And this is the very first time that I've ever seen any kind of operation like this ever in my life. And it's always a dream, being from Hawaii, that
Yeah.
we, make it's always a dream to be a combat sports athlete.
Okay.
So the UFC is a very big thing to a lot of Hawaiian boys and even Samoans, all the islanders. I
Mm-mm.
mean, it's something that they look forward to. So I get the opportunity to sit in a room with Max Holloway,
Yeah.
Charles Oliveira,
Yeah.
very big names, and I'm mind blown. My mind, I just can't grasp anything that's going on. And now I get introduced to the matchmaker. She looks at me up and down, and she's like, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" And because I got mistaken for security, I got mistaken for so many things, and I said, "Oh well, I have my younger brother's here, and he's here to compete. He's on Power Slap 7. His name is Kelly." And she goes, "Oh my gosh, he's told me about you." It's
Oh,
like now seeing who I am, put a face to the actual resume,
yeah.
they're interested. So she says, "Hey, you know what? I'm pretty sure your brother's going to go out there and do very well. But look forward to seeing an email from us Monday morning." And it came true. He went out there. He did really well on stage. Was able to perform properly. And then I get the email Monday morning. "Hey, Pono, here's your opportunity. Season 3, road to the title. It's all yours." So
Wow. That's what a story.
yeah.
That's sick. That's awesome. And earn too. I think like there's so many things that I would like to draw from what you said, but I think
Uh-huh.
the thing that really stands out is like you and your brother made this decision together,
Yes.
like as a team, as a unit.
As a unit.
And
Yes.
that's so special to me because so my mother and I like we're a team. So all like the moves that I make, I'm always she's like I'm always consulting her. It's like we're a team, It's like I feel like probably like your brother and I mean your brother and you, and I think that's so special. Like that's very special. And if you have that, like that means more than anything else. Like that's so cool that you and your brother
It's
can
it's
just like that.
it's it's different. And a little bit more of the backstory is that I'm originally adopted. I
Yeah.
lived my whole entire life with my aunt and my uncle. I
Mhm.
was separated from my family at an early age. My brother that I speak of now is my actual blood brother,
Mhm.
and I never had any interactions or known who he was all the way up to I was around 10 or 11 years old.
Wow.
So we were separated that whole entire time. We've done the same exact things. We went into MMA, we've got into Muay Thai, we've got into all the combat sports side of it. So we kind of lived the same life on two different sides of the world. And He was living on a separate island. I'm living on a separate island. I knew of him, but I only knew that they were my family through like relation, like they were my cousins instead of my
Sure.
brothers or my sisters.
Yeah.
And that was a eye opener for me from a young age, being 10 or 11 years old, being introduced to, hey, we're not, this is not your real family. This is your real family. This is your real brothers and sisters. And it took a toll on us and took a toll on me specifically because I went into a rebellious stage where I kind of went against the machine, not knowing what the real truth was about my whole entire life and my upbringing. And then maybe around 16, 15 or 16, I had the opportunity to go and actually live with my real family after knowing that they were, and spent a whole entire year with them, lived on the big island, got to really know them for what it is. But I've I have, I mean, we're Islander. I have this really big respect for my mom
Yeah.
and how she's taken care of me my whole entire life. And I realized that, like, instead of it being where it was hurtful to me, it actually brought out a different side of me later on down in life where I understood that I had two moms,
Mm.
two dads. I had twice as much love,
Mm.
and me and my brother made that connection at a very late stage.
Yeah.
So like it was more to me when it comes to like actually like speaking of like how we did it. It sounds really picture perfect in the beginning, but there was a lot of like
Sure.
things that happened in the background that kind of built up to that. That's a lot. It's a lot deeper than that. So
Yeah.
when me and my brother makes that this make the I mean because we're blood,
Yeah.
we're connected. Our minds think the same. Our thoughts are the same. I could look at him and understand exactly what he's thinking, what he's about to say, and I could tell already that like, okay, this is where I gain all that love, all that aloha, all that stuff back
Mm.
because now I have my brother in my life, and we were able to do something together, and really change every dynamic that whatever we've gone through in the past and the things leading up to. Now we get to make a different step, a different change, a pivot. It was a pivotal point in life
Yeah.
for us, for both of us. He's going through all his struggles and his times. I'm going through all my struggles and my times,
Mm.
and we were able to unite together as one unit
Yep.
and make a solid decision on what we want to do to change our life for the future. So
But that's so powerful because like well all that background makes it even more stronger, like your relationship and dynamic more stronger, I think, and appreciation for life and family deeper probably because you guys ultimately chose, you know, to
yes,
unify. You didn't have to. But I think you guys chose that and there's a lot of power and love in that.
yes,
And I think that really that's a very powerful story. That's something that really resonates with me. I love that. Thank you for sharing. That's really
yeah, of course.
very cool. Um, More into the um power slap side of things. So in every sport, like major sport, you know, the
Mhm.
element of defense is, I think what really draws me to your sport and your craft and your art is the fact that like I trained my whole life. Like I grew up playing American football, you know, I'm playing defense the entire time. So I trained my whole life to defend and to evade
Hmm.
and to, you know, you train all these moves just so you don't get hit. And so, but in power slap, there's no evading. You're literally just you're taking it.
Correct.
And that's just that's so unique. And I can't wrap my mind like I'm just in genuine awe of that. Can you kind of
Mhm.
like dive into that a little bit, like the mentality behind that, or just anything around that? Because I just want to understand it from your perspective as a pro.
Yeah. So, I mean, just being in the MMA world, I mean, you just like you said, you kind of understand it to where you have the ability to be able to defend, to move anytime that something is a threat or coming at you. And this is the one sport that realistically you can't defend. It's a defenseless sport. So it plays big on your mental state
Mm.
of how you're thinking because you can get into a part where you have a lot of nerves when you're standing up there, could cause you, and there's rules within the sport, so it could cause some induced flinching. It could cause you to make a mistake, so, per se. With the sport itself, because it's such a defensive sport, you have to find all the little minute things in between from how you stand, proper, operating within the kinetic chain. Work from your feet all the way up. You got to understand that your stance is important. You got to understand that there's also other things like the podium. The podium becomes a part of your equipment that
Hmm.
you're able to use to improve your well, just think about it this way. If I have 3 points of contact because you are able to kind of lean up against the podium, it gives me more stability.
Mm.
If I'm leaning on the podium, it kind of gives me an angle. You give a different perception to the striker being very close.
Mm.
And there's a lot of factors being very close to him, also him being very new. So, like, say if he was new in the sport, people don't get a good judgment of distance per se. So there's points and times where clubbing and fouling and all these other things that work within the rule set are going to happen. I mean, people being one brand new, two, they don't know good judgment and distance.
Yep.
So that's just one small piece of the pie. Then you have your bracing, where because you're defenseless, you have to put your hands behind your back. Your shoulders have to be at a low point to give the opponent the ability to be able to get in the target zone or the strike zone.
Yeah.
The target zone for the face is literally my hands width from the bottom of the jaw all the way to the tip of the ear. You go too far back here, it would be considered a club. If you go too high on the face, it's considered a club. If you
Mm.
go too far off of here, you might potentially miss. And that's, in this sport, you don't ever want to measure where something's at the very bottom of the chin,
Yeah.
because this is your main target area. Is where it's going to cause a lot of that torque to be able to turn the head.
Yeah.
And within this sport, you need to be, your accuracy
Yes.
has to be really on point from when you enter in. There's 3 points of contact on the hand that can touch the face at one point in time. It has to be the tip of your fingers, the mid of your palm, and the butt of your palm, all at the same time, simultaneously. It has to touch. If you lead with the base of your palm, it's considered a palm strike, which is also considered a foul.
Mm.
So it's minimizing all these moments and times where you can get points deduction, just like in a UFC match. There's point deductions, whether it be from the fouls, whether it be visually, if there's a lot of damage, and that's kind of how they score the cards per
Mm.
se.
Mm.
But defensively, you have a baton behind your back. You're able to lock down, and basically, well, how I explain it is like the motorcycle handle.
Mm.
You turn the motorcycle handle to be able to give it gas. It's the same thing. You would crank on one side of the body to lock in, and the other side the same exact way. So that way it tightens your arms to your body and it keeps you as one unit. Instead
Mm.
of you having these flaily
Yeah.
arms out, not really stable. You want to get as much stability as possible. You want to be
Wow.
as stable as possible when you get. So from the base, able to have that opportunity to lean against the podium, tightening down your arms to your body so that way you're one stiff unit, and then it's chin position. The closer your chin is to your chest,
Mm.
it stops the hand from crossing this plane, picking the chin up, and being able to drag all the way across.
Yeah.
So if I can limit the space between my chin and my chest, I can get to this position here, where by the time the target of the sight target comes into play into the target area, you're able to kind of lock and brace down without that real egregious clinch
Yeah.
to where it looks like he's flinching, but this keeps you safe. As
Mm.
as long as your chin is closer to your chest, you have this ability to catch it. Just like if a baseball player was throwing a baseball and you got to catch it with
Yeah.
the glove.
Yeah.
Same thing. This is the concept. This is the catcher's glove here. And as the ball enters into my space here, I close the distance here so that way I can
Yeah.
pinch and squeeze the hand,
Yeah.
block it down here, and
Interesting.
I create a guided area for that hand to slide through,
Yeah.
pin up, and not follow all the way completely through.
Holy. It's like you
Small
get,
things.
yeah, no, but no, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, those little things, because you only see like when you're watching, but that's like anything, when you're watching like the highlight, you just see the
Mhm.
film, like it's sexy, like the impact, somebody falling on the ground, it's very jarring. But
Yes.
it seems like for you to get to that point, the calculations that's happening before and during and then to finish, it has to
Mhm.
be incredibly detailed because you have to get it like it's accuracy. So
Yes.
that's insane. And also like learning how to absorb the force, like you're saying with the baseball mitt.
Hmm.
That's, I mean, it just like, I mean, in rugby or any contact sport as well, like you have to know how to absorb the force and like kind of go with the flow
Go with the flow of it.
yeah. Whoa, that's insane. So can you, I'm really interested in like the mentality in the just like the yeah, the psych not just the psychology, but like the in Japanese, it's like the energy behind the sport. So what's sort of like the mentality, the difference between like giving this the slap versus receiving the slap? Because I'm assuming I'm just thinking of rugby like attack, offense and defense. It's a slightly different mentality. Um,
Hmm.
and sort of like I'm assuming when you're ready, you're preparing to receive the hit, like there's a certain mentality. You're thinking all the technical stuff, but you have to have like this alignment, no, within you. I'm assuming,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, to the T. That yes. So with same thing with the offense. Same offense is almost similar to the is a similar thinking process to the defense. Is that yes, there is a checklist that you kind of have to go through to make sure that you're properly ready to deliver the slap. Same thing, checklist that you know properly be able to receive the slap. But where it switches off in your mind is that you stop thinking about the target, the way it's entering in this certain area, like you said, you're thinking about all these smaller things, intricate things that could set you up for success. You minimize all those parts or those points of failure where it can lead to, you know, you potentially getting hurt, getting injured, getting your, you know, being able to get the jaw out of alignment to where it's twisted. So I would say it's the warrior mindset
Mm,
because it that's I mean that's applicable in every single way. Is that it's a warrior mindset. I'm a chief, just like we now. I'm just watching. I got stuck in chief of war, right? But I'm a chief of my village. I understand that like I'm the one that has to go through that whole entire process of making the sacrifices, making the. It's a leadership mindset.
yep.
You have to be confident about what you're doing out there. So same thing with the offense. You have to be confident that that you've done all the proper training, all the proper movements, and the consistency. I think that's where the mentality kind of switches. Is that a lot of people won't be disciplined like that. A
Hmm.
lot of people will have inconsistencies, and that's where the mindset. I mean, the just the thinking process out there, even getting the hit is that's where I feel if I practice over and over and over and over again, the same exact movements, the same exact motions, everything down to the T, whether it be offensively or defensively, it gives me a slight confidence
Mm,
that I understand what the potential of what can happen to me. And
mm,
I think that's where knowing that I can check these things off the list that I'm going through my process, I'm going through my steps. That's what gives me a different mindset when I'm up there. That I've physically prepared for this. I've trained this whole entire time, whether it be just going to the gym and doing regular general fitness, whether it's practicing power slap techniques, whether practicing just base and movement, weight transfer,
mm,
things that or you know are going to prepare me to be the best version of myself out there.
mm,
That's where the mentality for me switches. Is that it's very hard to gain a whole bunch of confidence when you're out there just kind of defenseless and you're just kind of waiting for a slap to happen. But knowing that I properly train for this gives me a totally different mindset when I'm standing out there ready to take a hit, ready to deliver a hit.
mm.
Doesn't matter what the case is.
Okay, interesting. Um, Yeah, that's very powerful. And like when you say, because you're also from Hawaii, right? So, and I'm
Correct.
living in New Zealand playing rugby here. So I'm, surrounded by a lot of Maori culture and then a lot of Samoan and Tongan, like, all these like Polynesian cultures. Um, and so like when you say chief, like when you say that you're a chief out there, that really resonates with me because I see it like I feel like I kind of to some extent understand what you're saying because I'm experiencing,
Hmm.
the island and Polynesian culture, Maori culture here. Um, and so can you explain that to me a little bit? Like what
About the culture.
no about like oh it could be, but I mean like you said when you stand there, when you're
Hmm.
you're a chief. and like what that entails, like the sacrifices, the I'm gonna stand up for what I believe in my family, and I'm gonna like all of that honor. And it's almost as if like there's like this, you know, I don't know how else to say it, but like, you're a man,
Right, right, right. So
and
yeah,
pride in
I
that.
mean, yeah, for sure. So you know, Hawaiians, we and like any other islander culture, we really pride ourselves on that itself, right? It's being known for being very strong,
Mm,
very bold. You go out there and and like you make all those sacrifices. You're doing something for a bigger cause, a bigger drive. It's not it. You've realized that it's not just you at that moment and that point. It's for a bigger purpose. This speaks volume to other people out there, even outside of just the Hawaiian culture. I mean, people that are going through struggles, going through these things that are happening to them in their life, and now you're able to be able to represent yourself out there as that person. So when I go out there, I'm a chief. I'm an elite at the top of my ranking. I'm out there to really showcase who I am, where my heart is, how strong I am
mm,
in a sense, in a way. And same thing with like like rugby.
mm,
People go out there and they embrace and they they surround themselves with that feeling and that drive of like, this is my culture, this is my life, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is exactly how it's supposed to be.
yeah.
We get you get a better connection with that, your lineage, to the people that have came before you, the culture that was there before. And that's exactly the mindset that I have when I go out there. I believe in that like, as much as we are modern day now, and the experiences that we could have had before, those times are the ones that makes me the strongest. I understand. I go back and I look at how our people were, the way that they conquered a lot of those areas, a lot of those times where, I mean, adversity, things are happening, different cultures are coming in, different problems are happening, and they are able to overcome and adapt. And just understanding that we come from such a lineage where we've operated on stones
Yeah.
and sticks. There's no guns. There's none of those things back then.
Mm,
So like, to be able to have the skill set
yes.
to survive in such a rough and rugged time,
Mm,
that's where I transport myself
mm,
and my feelings and my emotions to where I'm just a guy out there putting my chin on the line. I
mm,
need to bring and gather all my mana. I
mm,
need to gather all my strength. I need to be able to stand there as a soldier, stand there as a warrior, and really just, like my brother and me say all the time, go out on our shield. It's
mm,
our shield. It's a part of our armor. It's a part of us. We
mm,
have to go out there and be able to perform exactly that, because we
mm.
were born and we were bred for that, to be warriors, to be chiefs.
Yep, yep. That's really powerful. That's very no, I love that. You're making me emotional. You're getting me hyped. Do you think, with that being said, like, do you think a lot of people run away from pain? And can you, because I think you understand this, and I think your brother understands this, like the power in walking towards pain rather than running away from pain?
Yes, yes, I can agree with that.
Yes. And
100%.
yeah. And can you kind of explain the power in walking towards pain rather than, running away from it? Because I think you seem, I feel it in you.
It's facing your fears,
Mm,
the
mm,
fears and the doubts that you have placed on yourself,
mm,
fears and the doubts that you feel that people have placed on you,
mm,
the responsibilities that you have to endure. Those things will make or break how you, the way you interpret those things will make or break how you answer, your reactions, everything else to that.
mm,
If you are a person that is constantly at that moment where you don't like to take a lot of risks, you don't like to put yourself into predicaments where you can grow, right? Because that's what people don't understand, is that the struggle is actually where it builds the strongest warrior. If you were getting handed this too easily, you would never be able to experience those times, those hard times, and you would think that this thing is supposed to come easily to you all the time.
mm,
But it's when you understand loss And when if things have been taken from you, you have given them up, by just making choices, decisions the way you do,
Mm.
you understand that it's as easy as something can be given to you, things can be taken away from you just as well.
Mm.
And that's where the difference is that you got to understand that the struggles that you go through are the little pieces that are chipped away from the statue that you're building, the statue that you're creating. You're the sculptor. People are chipping away at it. You're chipping away at it to be able to get to that fine part where sorry,
No, it's
did it
okay.
did it cut out?
No, no, you're good. You're good.
Oh, okay. I got a call on the back end. So,
Oh no, no,
but
it's okay.
it builds you,
Mhm.
chipping away at all these little pieces that potentially could give you the fear of
Mm.
wanting to be able to grow and getting into the. I mean, there's levels to
Mm.
this.
Mm.
You as you progress through life, just like anything else, you have your five levels. You're a novice, you're a beginner, you're an intermediate, you're an expert, and then you become the master. You become the actual, like, well, you be, you become advanced first, and
Mm.
then you can become the master. And just like in any other facet in life, that's how you would look at it.
Right.
Building that up that same exact way is
Mm.
that you're going to start off as a beginner, not understanding how life works and how everything goes. It takes your experiences to go through to make you level up to become an intermediate, and then from there, as you progress and you build up your skill set, you build up your knowledge, you've gone through all your experiences, you slowly build all those parts to become advanced or an expert at
Mm.
your craft. So to go back to what you're saying is that where do you make the choice or the decision or the immediate change of people running away from things or people going head on to it?
Mm.
When you understand that the only way to go is to face your fears, that is the difference. Is
Mm.
the understanding, the to know those things in and internally, externally and internally, to know those things, that you have to face your fears. You have to do these things, because if you don't, you'll end up not being able to get to the point where you're growing in what you're doing.
Mm.
It's always gonna hinder you from getting to the next level and the next step.
Mm. Mm.
If
Mm.
you make that up to everybody does that in life.
Mm. Mm.
Things
Mm.
are too hard.
Mm.
Things are getting too crazy. I'll make the turn back. I'll run this way instead,
Yeah.
right? And I think a better, like a better explanation to this is like buffaloes.
Mm.
When buffaloes sense that there's a storm coming, they don't turn around and run away from the storm. They run towards the storm,
Mm.
because the buffalo knows that going through the storm, it's going to allow them to get through it faster
Yeah.
and the opposite side, so that way the storm can pass.
Yeah.
But if you run away from the storm will continuously follow you
Yeah.
all the way to the very end.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
better to face your fears and run through the storm than it is to turn around and run back.
Yes. No, 100%. No, my mom always said that too to me growing up as well. I think the Buffalo example is like perfect. And she's like, Raina, maybe the thing that you're going through or the whatever difficult thing, let's say it kind of settles down, eventually it's gonna come back. And then you're gonna have to
Mhm.
deal with it anyways at some point. So why don't you just
Correct.
deal with it now? And I was like, oh yeah, it's true. Like you can't really run away. And I find that really interesting.
Well, it prolongs your growth.
Yes. Yep.
You could actually, the answers that you're trying to find is on the opposite side of that.
Yes.
If
Yeah.
you run away from it, you will continuously prolong what could potentially be the answer to the questions that you have already.
Hmm.
So you might as well turn around and face the storm. And
Hmm.
I think that goes along with the mentality of being out there and being defenseless and in a sport that I mean, you can't protect yourself. It's
Yeah.
the same thing. I'm the guy facing the storm. I have to go into it
Yeah.
full on, because if I don't go into it, I don't know what. I mean, there's so many opportunities that could change from
Hmm.
me facing my fear,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
and I think that's it's key. It's key for this.
No, I respect it a lot. Like, no, there's a lot of beauty in it and what you do, and I feel like I've been enjoying talking with you because I feel life through you. and I think you're somebody that I can look up to. Like I just enjoy, you know, when you feel like good energy. So I'm happy,
Yes, yes,
you know,
yes.
it's sunny outside. You got a baseball stadium there. You got a nice smile. You got all this wisdom, and I feel very lucky. I feel very lucky.
Can I tell you something?
Yes,
I was already when I first know I knew of you.
yes, yes.
I was already following you, and I watch a lot of your videos
Oh,
before
thank
you even message before you even messaged me, before you even reached out to me.
Yes.
I was already watching a lot of your videos, a
Mm,
lot of the motivational things, a lot about and life talks and the things that you do
mm,
right now. Like even you just applying yourself to so many different things.
mm,
And I knew that once when you reached out, I was like, man, this is like almost like God's alignment
mm,
of like being able to speak to somebody that I mean you understand it because you're in it.
mm.
You're doing it right now. You're currently an athlete. You're pushing for the football success. You rugby for
Yes,
all this time. And
yes.
when you understand both sides of the spectrum, where you're not only an athlete but you're also a coach. I
Mm,
mean, you could speak to other people in a different way,
mm,
and this goes for everything in life. Is that you can speak to people on how to be a better athlete
mm,
within rugby, a
mm.
better athlete within football. I mean, they all have pretty much the same blueprint, same guideline,
Yes, yes.
and then you can turn around and also be somewhat of an inspirational person to other people out there in the world by
Mm,
helping them understand what things that they go through, how
mm.
to process, and
Yes.
how to become the better version of themselves instead of going down the pathway that typically every I mean 80%, 90% of human beings, that's what they choose.
Mm,
A lot of the times
mm,
they choose the part where it's not facing the fear and not being able to do all those certain things. And I've noticed that with you know the world in general that like there's only a very small percentage of people that are trying to push in the opposite direction
mm,
only because they understand or they know the concept of what or they know the ideas of what needs to be done.
mm,
Majority of the people in this world don't understand that, so
mm,
then that's where it's like I knew that talking to you today would not, I mean, not only be just be a great time, but it would, at any point in my life where I'm able to understand, pick up, and adapt to new things or picking up new knowledge,
mm.
I'm always open to that. So
Yes.
like just hearing all the things that you're doing, you know, and then I can you post on Instagram every single time, all your stories,
Thank
all
you.
the people that you've been interviewing. I mean, it's very inspirational. It's very influential. So I immediately I was like, yes, like we can talk
Oh,
today for
oh,
sure. We can talk today.
no, thank you so much. I really appreciate, no, I really, really appreciate it. That means a lot. You gave me kind of chills. Like,
Yeah.
and you know, I know there's still so much. I think I much, you know, I know knowledge is really important, but I think I much more value wisdom. And I think I'm still young. I'm only 26, so I'm still a baby. And so I realize there's so much for me to learn. Um,
Hmm.
and that excites me. And I think wisdom is just earned experience. Um,
Correct.
and I think when you feel life through people, that's also why I really like speaking. Like I like hearing people's experiences because there's wisdom in everyone, and it's more than sport. Like it's more than sport. I just use sport as an avenue, you know, like to connect with people. But at the core, I think, you know, we choose our fields and our paths, and sometimes our paths choose us, but it
Yes.
sort of reveals to us who we are. And I think that's really special. It just so happens that I'm an athlete, you know?
Right.
So,
Right.
I,
It's the perk. It's the
yes,
perks. Yes.
yes,
Yes. Yes.
yes.
Yes.
So,
But
no,
we're all here just to master life.
yes, yes, yes. Whatever field that, you know, transpires or what's that word through. But,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I appreciate it. And I would love to like continue, you know, here and there. I'd just love to like stay in contact and stuff like that. And I'm so excited. Do you have like a match coming up?
So October 3rd is going to be the next event in Vegas.
Okay.
Then there's going to be two more events that happen in the same month. There's going to be October 24th in Abu Dhabi
Okay.
and
Ooh.
then October 31st in Saudi Arabia. So
Ooh.
that's all stacked in the month of October.
Wow. Oh my God.
Yeah, so I will be out there because I also So, through the journey, through the process, I've also been able to meet very amazing people in my life.
Mhm.
And we've opened up a management company
Oh.
to help other strikers go out there and develop themselves in the best way shape possible. And it's definitely been a journey for me since being competing on a season, very first time ever doing something like this outside of like just my general living, and being able to get into a part where I'm able to reach out and I'm able to help others
Mm.
through my life experiences and the things that I've gone through. I'm
Mm.
able to say, hey, look, this is exactly what I've been through at these moments and times. And it seems that you are also going through the same things just by what you've told me, just by the experiences that you said. They seem very similar, and it resonates with me.
Mm.
How
Mm.
can I help that? So it's turned into a chase for the title and being a champion, because that's usually how it always is.
Mm.
But it's turned out to be more of a help. How do I help others
Mm.
gain the knowledge, gain the experiences without having them going through the hardships and the struggles that they usually typically would go through, even though that we should go through some struggles at some point in time just to be able to grow like that. But how do I help people with a simple blueprint to get past those little areas? So we've
Yeah.
opened up a management company, and we've been able to merge with another company called Full Scope Management.
Mm.
And currently we have 16 strikers on our team, our roster.
Yeah, wow.
So, so we have a bunch of people, and almost every single card coming up, whether it's the Vegas card, whether it's Saudi, whether it's Abu Dhabi, we have at least 2 to 3 strikers that are competing on every single card.
Wow. That's awesome.
And I've done that to try to teach people like just the basic skills of life,
Yeah.
how to really do personal development,
Yeah.
really work on your mindset, work on the way you think, work on the way you operate.
Yeah.
Fix this first, because we're all thoughts. We're just a vessel moving through life, but reality is that we're just thoughts.
Mm.
And if you can control your mind, you can control everything else.
Mm.
You don't have to control others outside of your box. You only can control yourself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
really focus and hone in to creating the best version of yourself to be able to, present to the world, present to everybody else. And a lot of that stuff has to do with sharpening up within the sport. It's been where the social presence is there just because of the simplicity of it,
Mm.
that it's just slapping somebody or just hitting somebody in the face.
Yeah.
It's not multidisciplined, where you have to learn jujitsu, you have to learn kickboxing, you have to learn some kind of striking technique.
Mm.
So it's just slapping, but in the simplicity of it, you're able to learn all these other things to build your character, to build your presence, to your social. Your
Mm.
social media is so key to this. Is
Mm.
that it's your resume.
Yes.
It's your
Yeah.
resume.
Good.
You're putting it out there to the world of, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is how I operate, this is how I move. People understand it a lot more now, just because our attention spans are so short, that we pay attention to social media more than anything. So to under and we're branched across the whole entire world.
Mm.
So how do you reach out to people that are in New Zealand? How
Yeah.
do you reach out to people that are in Japan? How do you reach out to the fastest, quickest way to share your information is by social media.
Mm.
You have to create a character. You have to be you're an actor in your own play.
Mm.
There's all these things. You have to create the entertainment aspect now. Just
Mm.
because of the simplicity of how the sport is, now
Mm.
you have to touch all these other bases to be able to create the person that you are putting out there to the world, putting out there to others, for them to understand who you are,
Yes.
and the things that you've gone through, to be able to really follow in the words and the steps and the way that you're laying it down, the path that the bricks that you're laying down for the next person to really fall on, the foundational blocks.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
So through the management company, I was able to create that opportunity to be very close knitted to people, almost like a family,
Yep.
and to understand the struggles and the things that they go through, and how can I help. If
Mm.
I've been through that, I'll give you my information on what it is. And if I am lacking in certain places, I would also want the same information back. Hey, you know what, I've went through that same experience. I can
Mm.
share that with you, and it could help you build or help you grow. And
Mm.
I think that's the overall goal, is to be able to share these experiences between each other, because I mean that's what that like the key to being a human being is communication.
Mm.
We have to communicate with each other. We have to tell each other our feelings, our emotions, things that we go through, the stuff that I mean, whether it's on the top part of the roller coaster or the bottom part of the roller coaster, you have to explain both sides,
Yep.
just so that way, I mean, it gives the potential for growth.
Yep.
People to know that and confidence to
Yep.
know that they can get through hard times, through struggles and everything else, and look forward to something better on the opposite side of what's going on right now currently in your life. You know,
Right. No,
so
that's awesome. I'm so proud of you. That's
thank
sick.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
athlete,
it's different.
mentor, like, no, but it suits. Like, you are that sort of like father, mentor sort of figure. Like, you do have that presence. And I think, no,
I
that's
try to be.
so awesome. No, it's awesome. No, yeah. And thank you so much for your talk. I'm just gonna stop the recording. Don't go anywhere. Uh,
Okay.